On the evidence table sat a smashed phone, a stained shirt cuff, a set of keys, and a parking receipt worth $4.75. Every detective studied the phone. Nobody touched the receipt. It looked ordinary, something most people would throw away without thinking. But 3 days later, that small piece of paper would lead investigators to a missing man, expose a secret financial operation, and prove that the most important evidence in the room was the one nobody thought mattered. This is the story of Eli Ward and the receipt that changed everything. Eli Ward was 34 years old. He worked as an internal auditor for Sterling Harbor Construction, one of the largest development companies in the fictional city of Calder Ridge. Eli was quiet, careful, and known for noticing details other people ignored. He spent most of his workdays reviewing invoices, contracts, and payment records. Nothing about his life appeared dangerous. He lived with his wife Rachel in a small house outside the city. He returned home at almost the same time every evening, rarely traveled without telling her, and never disappeared without answering his phone. That was why Rachel knew something was wrong when Eli failed to come home on Sunday night. At 8:30, she called him. No answer. At 9:15, she called his office. Nobody was there. By midnight, Eli's phone was going directly to voicemail. Rachel contacted the police shortly after 1 in the morning. At first, officers treated the situation as a missing person report. Eli was an adult. His car was missing, and there was no evidence that he had been taken against his will. But 6 hours later, a park employee discovered Eli's car near Coldwater Reservoir. The driver's door was open. His wallet remained inside. His phone had been damaged and left beneath the passenger seat. There was also a small, dark stain on the cuff of his shirt, which had been left across the back seat. There was no sign of Eli. Detective Lena Ortiz arrived just after sunrise. The scene appeared to tell a simple story. Eli had driven to the reservoir late at night. Something had happened near the water, and whoever was responsible had either taken him or forced him to leave the vehicle. Investigators searched the shoreline. Divers entered the reservoir. Officers interviewed Eli's family, neighbors, and co-workers. But after an entire day, they had found nothing that explained where he had gone. The items collected from the car were transported to the police evidence room. The damaged phone received most of the attention. Technicians believed it might contain messages, calls, or location information that could reveal Eli's final movements. The shirt was sent for testing. The keys were photographed and cataloged. The wallet was checked for missing cards or cash. And beneath the driver's seat, an officer found a small parking receipt. Northline Municipal Garage, $4.75. Entry time, 1:42 Sunday morning. The receipt was placed inside an evidence bag and added to the table. Nobody considered it important. Eli worked downtown. He used parking garages almost every day. The investigators assumed the receipt had probably been sitting beneath the seat for weeks. By the second day, the case was beginning to slow down. Eli's phone was too damaged to provide immediate answers. The stain on the shirt belonged to Eli, but it was small and did not explain what had happened. There were no useful fingerprints inside the vehicle. No witnesses had reported seeing Eli at the reservoir. Then, Noah Bennett, a junior crime analyst, entered the evidence room. Noah had not been assigned to solve the case. He was there to update the evidence inventory. As he entered the receipt number into the system, he noticed the date: Sunday, October 18th. Noah had parked at Northline Garage before. He remembered that the garage was normally closed to the public on Sundays. He searched the garage's operating schedule. Northline did not accept ordinary public parking between midnight Saturday and 5 Monday morning. But Eli's receipt showed that someone had entered at 1:42 Sunday morning. Noah carried the receipt to Detective Ortiz. At first, Ortiz believed the timestamp could be wrong. But when investigators contacted the garage manager, they learned something even more important. The garage remained accessible on Sundays to a small number of monthly account holders. Each account holder used a digital access card. Whenever a card opened the gate, the machine still printed a receipt. The receipt number could be connected to the access card used that night. The garage manager searched the system. The card belonged to Sterling Harbor Construction. It had been assigned to the company's finance director, Martin Vale. Detective Ortiz had interviewed Martin the previous morning. Martin claimed he had spent the entire weekend at home. He also claimed that he had not seen Eli since Friday afternoon. The receipt suggested that someone using Martin's access card entered Northline Garage less than 7 hours before Eli's abandoned vehicle was discovered. Ortiz requested the garage records. The security camera facing the entrance had not recorded a clear image of the driver's face, but the gate contained a sensor that identified the general size of every vehicle passing through. Martin normally drove a small luxury sedan. The vehicle entering at 1:42 was much larger. It was approximately the size of a commercial van. Sterling Harbor owned 6 vans. 5 were parked at company locations that night. The 6th van had been signed out by Martin Vale. When questioned again, Martin changed his story. He said he had borrowed the van to move furniture. He claimed someone must have taken his parking card without his knowledge. But investigators had now found the first clear contradiction in his story. They began examining the streets surrounding Northline Garage. The garage camera had not captured a readable license plate, but a bakery across the street operated a security camera above its loading entrance. At 1:39 Sunday morning, the camera recorded a dark Sterling Harbor van turning toward the garage. 2 people were visible through the windshield. Martin was driving. Eli Ward was sitting beside him. Eli had not been abducted at the reservoir. He had been alive in downtown Calder Ridge hours earlier. And he had been with the man who claimed he had not seen him all weekend. Detectives searched company properties connected to Martin. One location stood out. Sterling Harbor rented an old storage facility 3 blocks from Northline Garage. According to company records, the space had been empty for more than a year. Inside, investigators discovered filing boxes, copied invoices, payment records, and lists of companies that did not appear to exist. For more than 2 years, money had been sent to fake subcontractors. The payments were small enough to avoid immediate attention, but together they totaled more than $2 million. Eli had discovered the pattern during an internal audit. He had copied the records and arranged to confront Martin privately. That meeting occurred inside Northline Garage. But something had gone wrong. Investigators found Eli's damaged watch near the storage facility and a small digital recorder hidden inside one of the filing boxes. The recorder contained only 47 seconds of audio. Eli's voice could be heard asking why company money had been transferred to businesses with no employees and no physical addresses. Martin told him that he did not understand what he was looking at. Then there was movement. The recording stopped. Police still did not know where Eli was, but inside the same box, they discovered a folded survey map. One area had been circled in ink. An abandoned Sterling Harbor field office stood near the northern edge of Coldwater Forest, 12 miles from the reservoir. A search team reached the building shortly before sunset. The doors were locked. The windows were covered. Inside a rear maintenance room, officers heard movement. Eli Ward was alive. He was exhausted, frightened, and suffering from a minor injury, but he was able to speak. Eli told investigators that Martin had asked him to meet privately to discuss the suspicious payments. When Eli refused to surrender the copied records, Martin attempted to frighten him into remaining silent. Eli escaped during a stop near the forest and reached the abandoned field office. His phone had been destroyed. He believed Martin might be watching his house, so he remained hidden while trying to decide whom he could trust. Martin had driven Eli's car to the reservoir, left several personal items inside, and attempted to make the disappearance look like an accident or an unexplained attack. He had cleaned the company van. He had removed records from the office. He had disabled its normal tracking system, but he forgot about the parking receipt. Martin Vale was arrested the following morning. The financial records recovered from the storage facility became the foundation of the case against him. But the records would never have been discovered without the receipt. The receipt did not contain a confession. It did not show Martin's face. It did not reveal where Eli was hiding. Its importance came from something much simpler. It proved that Martin's story could not be true. He said he was home. The receipt placed his access card downtown. He said he had not seen Eli. The nearby camera showed them together. He said the storage facility was empty. The receipt led investigators to the building where the hidden records were found. The most important piece of evidence was not the most dramatic item on the table. It was the item that quietly contradicted everything else. A smashed phone attracted attention. A stained shirt created fear. But a $4.75 receipt asked the question that solved the case. Why was it there? Sometimes evidence matters because of what it shows, and sometimes it matters because it proves that someone is lying.